The firefighters had to walk in waist-deep snow, carrying gear to try to get to the fire. By the time they got there, all they could do was make sure everybody was okay. Now, we've got some video we can show you of the scene. This is where fire trucks staged near the scene of this fire. Now, remember, the driveway is a mile long to get up there. It wasn't plowed. This is what a 68-mile-an-hour wind gust can do. Trees are down all over Upper Northwest. We are in the 5100 block of Chevy Chase Parkway. This tree came down, brought down 2 power poles and power lines. It crunched 4 cars, destroying that Lexus over there.
Ma'am, he's not breathing now.
Okay, is he all right?
No, he is not breathing now.
He is not breathing now?
No.
Okay.
Tell me what to do. Hurry it up here.
Okay.
From the start, time was working against Richard Raymond as his family raced to save his life.
I just know I lost my husband and my best friend.
The 52-year-old married father of 3 was cleaning his boat in Ocean City when he collapsed in full cardiac arrest.
And I looked up on the boat and my husband was on the floor of the boat, face down.
Ocean City Emergency, may I help you?
That was October 3rd, 2009. Raymond's sister-in-law, Cheryl Mono, immediately called 911.
I feel that the dispatcher had no idea where I was.
And he's in Bayshore Court, Ocean City, Maryland?
Yes. It's at the end of Bayshore Drive.
Paramedics were sitting at this fire station just a mile and a half from where Raymond lay face down, not breathing. But it would be 4.5 minutes before the dispatcher would even send help. We obtained this internal EMS critical incident report, noting that this type of call on average is handled in under 3 minutes, and some experts say that should be in 90 seconds or less. ABC7 asked 3 EMS experts to review this recording. All 3 declined to go on camera, not wanting to publicly criticize another agency, but all 3 cited problems with how this call was handled.
Hey, come on, tell me what to do, man. He's not breathing. Okay.
Mono asks again and again about how to do CPR, but it's not until 7.5 minutes after the call began that another dispatcher begins an explanation.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to give mouth-to-mouth, okay?
But more than a year before this call, the American Heart Association issued an advisory saying if a bystander is not trained in CPR, then the bystander should provide hands-only CPR, not mouth-to-mouth. Further, this incident report says the primary dispatcher told a supervisor the person responsible for CPR instructions froze when directed to speak with the complainant.
This should never, ever happen to anyone else again, whether it's in Ocean City, Maryland, or anywhere.
In an email, the Ocean City fire chief wrote, there is some validity to her concerns. Finally, Raymond's widow put the town on legal notice, but she says she has no plan to sue.
It's not the money I'm after. It's, I want acknowledgement that they screwed up and that they're willing to do whatever they can to fix it.
Changes so no other families have to live with the one question she'll never be able to answer.
Was it his time? Maybe. And I'll never know.
We had a cardiologist review the case. The doctor says whatever chance of survival was lost when the dispatch and CPR were delayed. The town's attorney refused to allow anyone to speak to us, citing a fear of litigation. But because of our investigation, a state oversight agency is now looking into it.
We're not filming in here, okay?
7 on Your Side has stumbled onto something these guys do not want you to see. Store after store in the L'Enfant Plaza Promenade being forced out of business after learning on Thanksgiving this Christmas would be their last.
You know, it's like elephant stepping an ant. I'm speechless.
Mina Tamami is heartbroken. She's had her clothing shop here for 22 years. Her lease expired over the summer, but she says she was told over and over that a new lease proposal was coming. She even showed us this October email from the property manager, JBG, saying, I do owe you a new proposal and will endeavor to get it to you this afternoon. It never came. Instead, she got an eviction notice.
I don't know. I have no clue what am I going to do.
The mall's being renovated, and while corporate stores like Dress Barn appear to be staying, the mom and pop stores are out with barely 30 days notice. That's not much time to clear out their inventory. Another merchant who didn't want to show her face says it's happening to her too.
After the renovation, we thought for sure that we can give us a smaller space for us here.
So we're now being escorted out of the mall here. We're going to go try to talk to the property management folks, but we've been told we can't be here. I'm hoping you can help me understand.
We're not filming in here, okay?
We wanted to ask why these longtime businesses are being thrown out. You can see she wasn't talking. Have businesses that were given the impression they were being...
Talk to our corporate office. We have an information officer. Thank you.
Great. Why give businesses the impression that they're having their lease renewed and then give them less than like a month? So we went to JBG's Bethesda headquarters looking for that information person.
You can give me your business card and...
We can't make an appointment now because you just indicated we could make an appointment.
I'm not authorizing you to. Is this on? You can leave me that tape.
Well, good luck getting it. Now, we called JBG again today trying to get their side of the story. I'm still waiting for the phone to ring. The customers at Mina's boutique are so upset they've organized a petition drive to try to keep the business open. Several shop owners say they're pleading for more time, and at least one says they're considering legal action if that's even possible.
Welcome to Counter IED training. Maybe I can tell you all something that will save your lives.
And Private First Class Conan Nettles is listening. He's half a world away from his family and fiance back in Germantown. He arrived in Afghanistan just 3 days ago for his very first deployment.
Anything in their imagination can be used against us.
These soldiers are walking a course designed to show them death could be one wrong step away.
What do you think your chances are of seeing that wire? You're not going to see it.
This terrain is full of dummy IEDs based on the devices insurgents are using against U.S. troops right now.
Your main emplacement is right to the right of Sergeant Kirschbaum's foot. Right there. So when the thing explodes, it takes both of us out.
The course instructor is Master Sergeant Brian Key. Few know more about insurgent IEDs than this man.
Look at this alternator wire right here. Very thin, you can hardly see the wire, right? That's why they like to use it.
Improvised explosive devices are the Afghan insurgents' #1 weapon of choice, killing 319 coalition troops last year, wounding more than 1,800 others.
I kind of got the goosebumps, oh no, we really are here.
On these boards, some of the insurgents' favorites, something as simple as an alarm clock shaped like a mosque.
I mean, they can make these things out of anything, out of Coke cans, out of trash that we leave.
You see a rocket weir right there, 107 millimeter round in a collet wall.
Does the course, do you think, save lives?
Absolutely, it does. We've had a lot of people that's come to us and said we used what we were taught. We were able to identify the IEDs, and it saved our lives.
The key to all of this is situational awareness, noticing things that don't seem right, like where the ground is disturbed. Right here is an IED.
You definitely need to have your eyes peeled a little bit better.
But you almost stepped on one of them.
Right. Because, there's just a little wire sticking out of the ground, so you can't really see that.
For these soldiers, it's the last chance to make a mistake. After this course, it's the real thing.
This is game on. You practice how you play. If you don't do it in practice, when you get in the game, you're going to mess up.
For Private First Class Nettles, with so much waiting for him back in Germantown, this game of life and death is one he has no intention of messing up. At Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, Chris Van Cleve, ABC 7 News. A faulty relay caused this fire in Erica Kim's Whirlpool fridge, the same issue that caused Maytag to recall more than 1.6 million refrigerators last year. Kim's husband grabbed his camera and shot this.
What if we weren't home? If we weren't home, if it was a weekday, our house could have burned down.
Mark Mersing from Stafford says the same thing happened to his Whirlpool fridge.
The smoke was rolling out of it. It was going to catch fire if I wouldn't have unplugged it.
And they aren't alone. ABC 7 obtained a stack of complaints filed with the Consumer Product Safety Commission telling the same story. Whirlpool made refrigerators that actually caught fire or where flames erupted and kitchens filled with smoke. Each complaint blaming a faulty compressor relay, the same problem the Kims caught on tape.
Here, give me some water, it's on fire now.
Whirlpool owns Maytag, but has not expanded last year's recall beyond Maytag products. In fact, it wasn't until 7 on Your Side got involved that Whirlpool replaced the Kims flaming fridge.
You don't just leave it to chance. I really believe they should notify people.
And get this, according to CPSC records, Whirlpool knew of the problem back in 2005. 3 years later, Whirlpool had received at least 114 reports of relay failures causing smoldering and confirmed 59 cases where floors were scorched.
They should inform everyone who's got a model with this defective part in it.
But documents show in 2005, the manufacturer told the Consumer Product Safety Commission it does not intend to warn customers. And Whirlpool is currently suing the relay's maker, calling the part defective.
It does surprise me that they're not recalling when they know that there's a problem.
Whirlpool says while the relay may mirror those of the recalled Maytag refrigerators, the Whirlpool design essentially stops a fire like this from spreading beyond the fridge. But the family who shot this video still wonders.
How many more people have a refrigerator out there that's just waiting to burst into flames?
Whirlpool has not released a complete list of the models with the suspect parts. However, documents we've obtained give a range between January 2000 and as late as 2004. If you see smoke coming from the rear bottom of the refrigerator, unplug it, call the manufacturer, and alert the Consumer Product Safety Commission. We have more online at TBD.com, including how to figure out when your fridge was manufactured. I'm Chris Van Cleve, ABC 7 News. Well, guys, we've been talking about the winds and the fear that those winds would push down trees. Take a look at this picture. This is a tree that was blown down, weighted down with snow. It landed on Elise Walker's car. She didn't tell us what part of town she's in, but now she has a tree on top of her car, and that's never good news. Another viewer caught this picture, and what's significant here, notice the people up on the roof shoveling snow. Now, paramedics, firefighters will tell you don't do that right now, because if your roof is at all unstable because of all of that snow, you being up there could be just strong enough to bring it down. So stay off your roof, particularly now that we've got these blizzard and blowing wind conditions. If you think your roof is going to collapse or is collapsing, go ahead and call 911 and get out of your house. Now let's show you some pictures here. This is live streaming video from Frederick of the storm. Now, right here in the center of your screen, that's a car that's slowly being buried by blowing snow. And you can see, you can watch the trees there and the snow just really blowing around out there. Certainly a dangerous, dangerous situation. This is some real...
Oops, I ran over a kid.
...bad driving. We teamed up with Allstate to put 5 teens and 2 parents from Northern Virginia through this Drive to Stay Alive distracted driving test.
Going the wrong way!
With no distractions, the course in a FedEx Field parking lot is not hard.
Hello?
But get on the phone.
What's your address, Laura?
5702.
The drivers immediately become distracted. And when they start texting, watch out. Things go from bad to worse. The cones represent curbs or parked cars, things you don't want to hit. And these are little kids darting out into the road. 19-year-old Kevin struggled when he was on the phone, but when he was texting, just watch. Remember, the road is between the cones. He went around them, so he's essentially texting and driving on the sidewalk.
Oh, crap.
Leaving here today, do you think you'll be texting when you drive?
No, not really, no.
This 17-year-old high school student is so focused on writing his text while backing up, Matt rolls right into a kid and doesn't even know it.
I was just knocking over everything once I got the phone out.
Carrie just got her learner's permit. She's 16, and when asked to multitask, her driving came to a halt.
I can't text and drive. Oh, geez, I'm gonna run someone over.
But what about the parents? Mom Chris was pretty confident.
I'm going to be better than my kids at texting and driving.
If by better we mean she hit not 1,
You just killed a kid, Mom.
but 2 inflatable kids, then she did a great job.
I heard them pop under my wheels.
It was horrible. I mean, we saw cones being hit, we saw our inflatable dolls being popped, and we saw a lot of these cars dragging these kids down the road. I mean, it was awful.
Awful as it was, it may be a life-saving wake-up call for these young drivers.
Everything you should be focusing on just doesn't happen when you're texting and driving.
That was horrible, and that you should not have been texting while driving.
I think it's dangerous and stupid, and don't ever do it.
And are you ever going to do that?
Nope.